story time again. I got a good one this time. Alright, so it's almost the 4th of July, and although I don't celebrate holidays, Independence Day holds a kind of marker for me of when I moved here. Because right before I moved here, within the next couple of days, the people that I was staying with, they all celebrated the 4th of July, Independence Day. And there was, lots of fireworks and food. So it's become my yearly marker for my progress while here. I can always look back and say, well, I got here right around the 4th of July. Alright. Before that, I was in Michigan, sleeping in my car. Sleeping in the car sucks. And sleeping in the car in Michigan sucks even worse. And mainly, I feel like that was due to some decisions I had made that, early on. There are decisions you can make early on in your life that will change your life forever. And, if no one properly guides you and tells you what's going on, you'll make decisions that'll haunt you the rest of your days, even when you're simply 16, 17, 18. So, sleeping in my car in Michigan during winter, and the car broke down. The car finally broke down on me. It was a Isuzu Rodeo I was sleeping in. That car broke down at my friend's place, and he was gracious enough to let me let it sit there. Devontae, it broke down at Tay's house. He was cool enough to let me let it sit there without, harassing me about the shit. But essentially, that was my home that had broken down. Clothes is in there, my tattoo equipment, a few little odds and ends, but that was basically my life. I would get up all 5 o'clock in the morning like I do now, ride to the gas station, grab me some coffee, set about the day, zip zooming around town doing tattoos. Well, when the truck broke down, that came to an end. I was stuck. Stuck trying to get the truck fixed. Stuck trying to get to work, get to some tattoos. It was a pretty bad situation. Really couldn't do nothing for nobody, man. I was showering where I could, when I could. And of course it was, ultimately, all results of decisions I had made. That's just the skinny of it, So I abandoned the car, got it towed, and then I had nowhere to go. I was staying with people, and as much as I appreciate the people who let me lay down at their place from time to time, it just was just all so exhausting. And then I called a friend of mine down here in Memphis. And kind of was just reaching out. I explained the situation. And I told her, I was like, look, bro, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm fucked, bro. Like, she said, well, you know, you left Memphis when you were 16. Maybe it's time you come on home. I said, bro, I ain't got shit, man. My car broke down. I could have drove down there last week, but now my car's broke down. She like, look, baby, if you can get a bus ticket or whatever here, she said, me and my husband got a couch that you can sleep on. If you want to come on back home, and you know, once you get here, maybe you can reconnect with some of the family down here. Maybe, I don't know, but if you want to get away, we got a couch you can sleep on. I said, you know what? That's all I needed to hear. I'm on my way. You know, so I packed up my thing. Cause I only had like one thing, nigga. And I left. Now, all the people in my life, I told what was going on. I said, hey man, told my kids, told my friends and family there. I said, look man, things just ain't working out for me here. And I don't even know what's down in Memphis, but maybe, just maybe, there's something down there for me. You know, that's basically the homeland. And I ain't been back there in many moons. So maybe, I don't know. But this ain't working out. They living in cars, sleeping on people's floors. I even once, for a long period of time, slept on chairs. That was a rough time. So I left. Took the last little bit of bread I had, like $100, you know. Got my ticket. Shot down here. Slept on my friend's couch. Her husband, God rest his soul, was very gracious. They had invited me here before, and I had come down here and hung out with them, but I never stayed with them, you know. And I promised him, I said, look man, I promise I'm not gonna be bullshitting. I'm gonna get on my feet. I'm gonna get up out your spot, and I will forever be grateful. I appreciate it. Just appreciate this opportunity. So, what was the first thing I did? I called my cousin down here, let him know I was back in Memphis, right? And I knew my Cuddy Boom had connections, you know what I'm saying? He kind of a big deal down here, right? He's a soldier, veteran, you know, still involved with the military, very successful, got a horse ranch out in Carthage, he's doing really well. So I called Cuddy, that's the first person I called, like, bro, do you got any job connections in the area? He was like, yeah, let me check around. I got you, cuz I got you. So, lo and behold, he calls me, bro, I got somebody that need a drywaller Monday. You ain't even gotta drive to work. He'll come pick you up. Sounds promising, let's go. enough, Monday morning, 6:30, 7 a.m., dude shows up, picks me up, and day one of my new life begins. Now, everybody knows I'm a tattoo artist, man. I don't want to be no drywaller, but that's what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? To get ahead. So, I'll work here for like 2 weeks. But because my cousin is so far removed, disconnected from the operation, he don't really see what's going on here, right? But I do. Because he's connected, he got one of his friends a position, contracting, and his friend is making his riches by hiring less than savory characters that have skills in carpentry, but because of their positions, he can pay them a lot less than he'd pay regular workers. So I worked my ass off, man, like 2 weeks, man, and this nigga gave me like $280, man. You talking 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, 2 weeks straight. This nigga gave me like $280, bro. I was like, you know what, man? Hey, I appreciate the opportunity, but I'm not making enough. And to explain what we did was, this guy ran a carpentry contract for my cousin, and this contract was involved in a program that renovated homes for veterans, right? We would widen doorways for wheelchair access, expand the bathroom and the shower so it would be wheelchair accessible, handy accessible. It was actually a really great program, it was pretty dope. And then to see the look on some of these veterans' faces when they came in, and to look at the progress of the house, this was making renovations to existing structures, not building from the ground up. The Veteran Center would buy the home for the veteran and renovate it so he could completely access it, which was great. Amazing program, but it's the soft white underbelly of these kind of programs where you see where the funding trickles away into the pockets of the people who are smarter and know how to work the system. Anyway, at the end of this 2 weeks, I had less than $300. I've been living with my friend. It's not looking good. So I took that little bread. After I told you, I said, man, I just can't work here, man. It's just not enough, man. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for taking me on at a moment's notice without no application, no nothing, but this is just not for me. So I took that $280. I went home and got myself cleaned up, and I got on the laptop and I made the best portfolio that I could on Walmart's website. Took all the pictures from my tattoos over the years that I had done up in Michigan and put them into a portfolio. It was like $40. It would be ready in an hour, right? As long as you get to Walmart, they'll have your photo book printed up. And now you can use this to try to get a job tattooing, doing what you really love, right? So I'll make that happen. I got my, I asked my friend, I said, baby girl, can I use y'all card, run out to Walmart, pick up this photo book? She's like, of course, here's the keys, do what you gotta do. I said, look, all I made was $300, man. Here's $100. She's like, no. I don't need your money. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but I've been here, I'm saying? I'm just trying to help out. She said, no, just get yourself together. We actually good. You know, you're not disturbing us. You're sleeping on our couch. Just take care of you. So, took that money, bought me a portfolio. Went out there and picked that up. And it was decent, you know. And I began to call places and see, you know, the hunt. If it's possible, I can get a job at a tattoo shop, you know, with this portfolio. Seeing the best step to showing people what I was capable of, you know, at a moment's notice, at a glance. If somebody give me a shot, it's on and up from there. I went around a few places. Drove way the fuck out because she let me use the car. Drove way the fuck out. That place was closed, right? Wasn't even open no more. Like an empty building. Like, but it was still on Google. So I'm like, fuck. Went to another place. It was functional, but just not business hours. And there's actually a guy walking up to the building as I'm knocking. He's like, yeah, the lady that hires isn't here right now, but your portfolio looks pretty decent. He said, if you bring it back up here in a couple hours, I'm sure she'll take a look at it, and then you can go from there and see what she says. It was promising. Went to another place. It was closed. But this is Monday. Lots of shops don't open on Monday, kind of like barber shops and salons. A lot of them take Sunday and Monday off because Saturday is such a productive day with people wanting to get their, you know, things done on their day off. So I said, you know what? Let me just stop wasting gas. First of all, let me go back to the house and just start calling places and see if they need an artist, right? And then went back to the house and got on the phone. And the first place I called, the first place on the Google list that I hadn't been to, was Dave's Tattoos. And I called, he said, Dave's Tattoos. I said, hey, I'm just wondering if you might be interested in an artist at all. You looking to hire an artist? He said, I actually am. Do you have a portfolio? Yes, I do. He said, well, you want to bring it on down and we can check it out and go from there? You mean right now? Sure, come on down. I am on the way. I get down there, show him my portfolio. He's impressed. He likes the work. I assure him that this is my work. I haven't stolen any of this work off of Google and pawned it off his mind. This is all my work. He said, okay, we'll see what you got, man. You're hired. I was sleeping in my car, bro. Sleeping in my car. That day forth changed my life. Since that day, I've been able to do what I love to do in a place that I love to do it. And life has never been better. I can't explain it. I'm doing nothing different. It's not like I made some major change or some decision that would change my life exponentially. But somehow I was. I look around at the life I've built. I'm not going to talk about numbers. I'm not going to talk about how much money I make, because that's not important. What's important is that I'm not sleeping in a truck in the middle of winter with nowhere to go. You know, you would think that the people that love me would be happy for me, right? Well, let me tell you, not everyone is. And that's okay. You know, not everyone knows your story. Some people think they know your story. But they have no idea. The whole point of this being, right? Fast forward to now. Your boy's alright, okay? Kid's doing just fine. One of the things that mattered to me when I came here was, if you're serious about this, how can you prove it to yourself? Fuck everyone else. How could you prove it to yourself that this was something bigger than just not being poor? Well, something that mattered to me personally was when I come back here, I found that I was inevitably drawn to the places where I lived before I left. Childhood places, my grandfather's, my mom's, my aunt's, you know, and in various locations around the city. Then I saw my granddaddy's house and I was like, damn, man, I wish I could live in my granddaddy's house, right? Like, that would be dope, because I lived with granddad after I moved back to Memphis. Some years later, I was a little bit older. You know, I joined the military from here. Went to the Marines from Memphis. And at that time, I was staying with granddaddy, and I was like, damn, man, I wish I could live in granddaddy's house. This nigga used to make me take care of his terrible ass dog that tried to eat me. Be like, boy, ain't nothing wrong with that dog. Get on out there and feed that dog. This motherfucker, this bitch trying to kill me, nigga. I'm like, granddaddy, I don't like going out there. Boy, if you don't get your ass out there and feed that dog, come on now. Don't be scary now. This nigga got a pit bull back here that just wants to murder me. You know, but them was good memories, man. You know what I'm saying? I wanted that house, right? So I asked my cousin, and I was like, hey, who owned granddaddy house? You know, she said, not us, baby. We got rid of that a while ago, you know, between taking care of granddaddy and then taking care of mama, we had to get rid of the house. And I was like, dang, okay, that makes sense. You know, I get it. So the houses that I had to look at, all of them were pretty much gone. Me and mama stayed on Carpenter Street. That house is available, actually, but it's in Douglas. This video can't be long enough for me to explain to you why I can't live in Douglas at this moment. But that's a goal, right? That's a goal. But Sean's mom's house, the Gordon Mance, you know, the ancestral manse of the Gordons, which was next to sacred property, next to a church. I went over there. It's all busted. It's all broken down. You know, the Hazlitt manse, where me and my homie Turk grew up to. You know, me, Sean, Turk, Todd. You know, we was all there. They, I guess, sold the place. I don't know. His mom passed in the last few years, and I guess they just didn't, you know, or maybe that's somebody else in his family that's on that property, but I visited and they didn't know me and I didn't know them, and I was like, my bad. So it almost looked pretty hopeless for getting into a place I used to live in, but you know, no biggie. It's it was just something stupid I wanted to do, you know. But you know, lo and behold, after the passing of my mom's sister, Aunt Joyce, attended her funeral. I didn't go inside. Y'all know I don't do funerals, but I went to her funeral and everything, and that was my mom's sister, my baby, that took care of me because I was her baby. Joyce Williams. Well, her house is empty. And her children, my first cousins, have chosen me to be the steward of the property. Because they all have homes, you know, they all own homes already. No one actually has need for mama's house, but nobody wants to let it go, of course, you know. And it's in a neighborhood that, which was, when she bought the house, this was a great neighborhood. But over time, you know, places change, things change, times change, and it's not in the best neighborhood, you know. Not like the neighborhood any of us live in now. But I would be honored to take care of TT's property, man. You know, I grew up there, man. Like that was the place where I got chicken pox. So, 3 years later, and in a couple of weeks, I will be the new steward of our family plot. You know, honestly, I think with the state of the housing crisis right now, the rental crisis, the homeless crisis, owning property is pretty much like non-existent for most of us. But I think as a family, we're gonna want to keep this property, and it will be passed down to, So, I guess the moral of the story is don't give up. Never, ever, ever give up. Things are really different now. And I encourage anyone who may question what I have going on down here. I encourage you to come down and check it out for yourself. You know, the funny thing is, I had a friend, a close friend, that knows this story that I just told you, right? And I thought they would be happy for me. Like, bro, look at your boy, right? Right, nigga? This nigga was mad, son. Like, I can't explain it any other way. Like, this nigga looked around and was like, good for you. Alright, whatever. Any.